Let's do it, baby. Boom. All right, we're in. So I'm looking at the SPY right now. It looks really strong. So I don't think that I'm going to take anything while it's above this uptrend, but I am still looking for puts as it starts to get a little overbought. Um, what's up, Rico? I'm looking at this. 1 second. I got to put this in my channel real quick. Going live. Good morning, fellas. I only took one small trade today. That was this Tesla reject up here. Ended up getting out quick scalp. Only had 10 contracts. Didn't make too much. But I also sold a contract on Tesla this morning as well. That played out pretty nicely. I didn't make that much on it. I should have held it because it was $300. I probably would have collected $250 of it, but I ended up selling it like up 60 sub or something like that. Just a quick little scalp. Just wanted to test it with a cash account because if you sell options, if you want unlimited day trades and you're under $25,000 and you sell options, you can unlimitedly sell options and it doesn't diminish your cash on a daily basis. So you're not purchasing anything, so your buying power is held and you can just buy it back at any point, make your money, and then you have unlimited trades. So that's the hack if you have under $25,000. Not a lot of people know that. SPY, I'm assuming it's going to break out here, probably above this 394 price. I don't expect it to reject right here. If it does, I honestly wouldn't be too surprised, but I do see a resistance point right at this 394.75. So that's the other one that I'm paying attention to on the 5-minute chart here. It does look kind of weak here, but I can see this squeezing up to that 394.75. So this is my point where I'll take puts. I'm not gonna, if it rejects here, I'll be upset that I missed it, but I see a big opportunity for it to spike. So I'm looking for puts at that level. I'll probably end up taking these 394 SPY puts for tomorrow. They'll be worth like 180-ish, but they were worth 300 at the low. So, I buy 10 or 20 of those, could make a good amount of money, but I do see some space over here on the 15-minute chart. So it's gonna struggle this 394 probably, but this is expanding, so I could see this shooting up. I would like to take this, but with these two upper shadows, this is a very strong uptrend. If it rejects it entirely, then maybe I'll look for, an opportunity on the downside, but as of right now, there is a lot of room down here to test this trend again, but I think that there's much more room up. So if this does test this, I would probably take some call side bounces at that level. I would switch these to probably 394 calls rather than 394 puts. But I do want to pay attention to CRM big time here. CRM is just kind of fading off. His Bollinger Bands are really faded. It's up 12% today. CRM and Snow still fading off too. Damn, these are crazy. Kind of 131 on Snow. Looks like the SPY's pulling back. If it taps that trend line, I'm probably going to take some calls at that level. I know Amazon is lagging behind real hard too. It bounced at 91. How's Meta doing? Meta's a very hard stock to trade. Same with Airbnb. Just such weird chart outlines. Airbnb is right at this level. It could bounce for a while. I might end up actually selling a call on Airbnb. How much are those? Airbnb, or I'd sell a put. They're not expensive enough. Not worth it. Not risking $1,200 of capital just to sell. I wonder how much these snowflakes are now that there's no earnings. Let's see if they're pretty similar. Coinbase is getting destroyed. Okay, so these are not as expensive without their earnings. Probably same with CRM here. You have to pay attention to, yeah, about $200. Coinbase probably the best, honestly, the way that these are priced, about 200. Next week's are going to be about 300-ish. Could probably sell these, but I'm scared of Bitcoin over the weekend. That's usually its biggest moves, so I wouldn't want to sell that. These SPY puts are looking pretty good on the 5-minute chart here. Rejecting that 394 pretty heavily. It's kind of forming a little cup and handle here. I would like to see this test of this trend before I take anything. If I take some calls, it'll be on this bounce. So I actually might end up switching these to 394 calls with a very small stop loss. I'm up a little over $100 already today. I didn't really trade much yet, but looking for a nice little $500 to $1,000 day. Keep it light. But there's not a lot of movements in here. I do see a massive volume spike here with a sell candle, so it shows me that there's a lot going on here. Might be the start of a turnaround, but I like that this trend hasn't been touched yet, so I might take a dabble with a small stop loss right at this for the bounce play, because like I said, there is that resistance point at 394.75, so this could just be expanding, consolidating. Obviously it broke down here, so there's some weakness, so I would wait for a little bit of a spike down. You can see these contracts went to 206, so maybe I'll buy 10, look for a couple $100 on the trade. If it goes the high of the day, these would be paying out pretty well. Maybe I'll buy 20 of them. Oh, gosh. I want to see this test first. I want to see this trend line test. I don't want to buy this dead zone area. If I buy it, it'll be right here. But keep in mind that VWAP level is down here at 393.15, so I just don't want to get stopped out very fast. It's still not on this level yet, so I'm going to wait for it. I'm going to wait for it more so on the 1 minute, which is 393.20. Right around this level. Okay. Just making sure we know. It's at 393.40. Looking for a bounce play here on this trend line. I usually don't like these because it's the dead zone, of course. But with this setup, it looks like it has a pretty decent possibility for a reversal here. We're at 140. Maybe I'll put in a limit order around like 165. Yeah, I'm going to put in a limit order at like 165 here. See if it fills me. It's right at that trend line. There it is. I got 10 contracts pending. Let's see if it fills me here at 165. It's getting really weak though. It's probably not the best entry. It's probably a really bad entry point because it just blew through this line. So I got it at 165. I'm going to keep it $100 stop loss because this looks really, really weak. Wow. Low of the day test coming in hot. I'm down 100. I'm gonna wait for a little bit of a bounce before I put my stop loss in there. So I'm down $100 on 10 contracts, which is nothing, but I might put a stop here at 152 at that low. Looks like it blew right through it, so be down 130 if I end up getting stopped out. I'm only down $70 right now. Wow, what a drop. This is the low of pre-market, and this is the low of the day, obviously. So it might be starting to head towards that level. I think it completely broke down that uptrend. Only down $50, but I would like to see a little bit of a bounce. I just don't think that we're gonna get too much of it. So now I'm gonna push my stop loss up a little bit to lose $100. I think that this is too weak to bounce now. That was a massive spike down. I tried to push the limit order down a lot more. So I could get a good fill, but right now I'm down $20. I'm not going to make any money on this trade. I might just stop myself out. I'm going to try and stop myself out here. I stopped myself out flat, so I didn't make any money, didn't lose any money at 165. 10 contracts, so just went through a little bit. I didn't like that level where it dropped at all, even though it might reverse now, which would suck, but oh wow, Jesus Christ. Would have just made it would have been only $100 some, but damn, what a bounce. If this starts to squeeze, that would be insane. I didn't like that drop, and that's unfortunate because I would have just made a nice little $140, if not more. It looks like this might squeeze up towards that level now. That's really unfortunate. So we went out flat, but we're all right with that. No money, no lost. No money, no gain. 178, we're at 180 here. Wow, damn. That would have been pretty cool. Only $150, so I can't be too upset about that. These contracts were for tomorrow too, so just keep that in mind. That always smaller gains and slower moves on those contracts, but less risk. So the SPX I love, but I really only want to play the SPX when I have profits. So just kind of sitting here. The market is chopping. It's within this $1.50 range, so I don't expect to play the SPX unless I see really big moves. What do we got here? Got NVIDIA. I could end up selling some options too, but I just don't really want to do that. Could collect some premium. I could show you guys real quick what it would look like. What is Coinbase doing? So I usually like to sell puts. Jesus, this thing is just sliding. I usually sell puts when it's about to. This is actually pretty nuts. This could go down to 56, and if it breaks below that, 53 is what I'm really looking at. There's a lot of room down in Coinbase. Just broke down really heavily on the daily chart. This little wedge pattern, it broke out, and then usually you'll see a retest, but it blew right through it. So how's QQQ looking? Pretty ugly. Yeah, the weekly charts look pretty ugly across the board. SPY, QQQ. I'm expecting a big breakdown here at some point pretty soon. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't see too much of an opportunity right now to trade anything. I kind of missed out on that little scalp, but I'd rather stop myself out flat. I risked $1,600 and to not lose anything. I'm okay with that. This does look like it's going to bounce, though. Wow. This looks like it could have a massive green candle. If it continues to bounce at this VWAP level, remember I said that this 394 was a resistance point that it's having trouble with, but then there's also this 394.75 from earlier. I only know that because I wrote them down earlier, or I had them there earlier, so it's not just guessing. But I am looking at this level still. This looks like it's a pretty good trend now. I would look for this bounce here for a bounce play at VWAP, but if it breaks down, it's going to break down fast, so it would stop me out fast. If I get in, it's going to be $7 higher than where it was before. and I don't really like that. 1 minute doesn't look as bullish unless it gets above this 393.50. 15-minute doesn't look that bullish to me either. I think right now, if I took a trade, it'd be more of like guessing, but it is bouncing at this VWAP level, and it does have a ton of room up to this 394.70. So these contracts would probably pay over $30, $40 a contract. On 10 contracts, that's 400. 20 contracts, that's 800. You know, it could be a really good opportunity. NVIDIA kind of has a bullish pattern too. This looks like it could bounce off VWAP and go to high of the day. Very similar to what SPY has going on here. I kind of like this. I kind of like these 394 calls. They're at 185. This hurts because we had it right here. And there she goes. I think she's going to go. Yep, there's the squeeze. Should I hop on this momentum? Wow, guys, that could have been a nice $400 or $500 there. Struggling this price though. Oh, it's gone. Got it. It locked it in. Damn it. We got the perfect entry. I got scared out of it because it dropped too fast. But no money lost. That's okay. Could have been a nice little $350, $400 though. Got in a 165 fill. Went to 205. Would have been a nice $400. Now it's going to go even higher. This retest. It just hit high of the day, so hopefully it doesn't reject completely here. Let's see what we got. I might actually end up buying this on a little bit more of a pullback here. Let's see if I can get filled a little bit below 200. I'm going in here at 199. My stop loss is going to be 189, so it's going to be $100. I'm looking for this spike up. It could reject that 400, 394 level, but I think that since it tested it again, it's trying to break out. So I'm in at 199, 10 contracts, so about $2,000 risk. I'm only going to risk, let's do $90. Might fill me a little bit below that, but my stop loss is at 190, so I'll only lose $90 here if it starts to reject. But I'm looking for that push and squeeze up to this 394.75 range. I probably won't make too much money, but I'll show you my risk management strategy on this. This is going to be a smaller play, usually about 20, 30 contracts, but we're going to go in small here since there's not a lot of movement. I'll move this up. This is how I start to mitigate my loss. So now I'm only risking $60 out of that $2,000. Hopefully I can get a little bit of a push here, maybe take $100 or so on. I'm up 50, up 40. Starting to look a little weaker. I'm going to push it up a little bit. If I get stopped out of here, it'll be $50. It's trying to get there, but it looks a little weak. This 394 range is really, really, really strong. Looks like I might get stopped out. I'm going to push this back down 60. Maybe 70. I'm up a little bit, so I have a little bit of playroom today. There we go. There's a little bit of a push. I just want to see the squeeze. I want to see more of a squeeze here. 394 is stupid strong, though. Doesn't want to see me win. I like where I'm at. I still think that this bullish engulfing pattern still could hit this. It just needs some weight above this 394 because it's really, really strong. So I need some buyers to step in here. It's trying to consolidate at that level. Hopefully it doesn't reject. Getting some nice buyers right at this 393.90, right at 394. Should push. Looking at this time and sales data, we're right at that level. Let's see if we have any big sellers still. I have a 500 to sell. 98, 97. 94, yeah, these guys are trying to push it down. Buyers are trying to stay strong. I don't think that they're going to win this one, though, so I'm going to push this up, mitigate my loss here. 193, it'll be about $60. So we lost that. The sellers got a hold of it. So I'm going to keep my loss right here at 193. About to get stopped out about $60. Maybe I'll push it down a little bit more, just in case. Ah, got me. All right, so I lost $70 on that trade. But this level's so strong. It cannot break this 394. I think it's going to at some point, but damn. They got it. I think I'm only up, now I'm only up 50 bucks on the day. So got a little bit of playroom, but nothing crazy. I still think that this is going to go. I just didn't know how far that this was going to drop, and I didn't want to be stuck in one of those massive spike downs and spikes up. Got to keep the small losses small. Why do I think that this is going to go still? Do I just go for it? I think so. This bullish engulfing. It's at the top of this Bollinger Band, but I think it's starting to squeeze. Cannot break this 394 to save its life. It is really struggling this level. I'm really trying to see if it can break this 394. People on my channel are still saying the same thing right here. 394 calls, rejection. Those are my levels, same levels as them. Really looking for this rip up. All right, I'm back in at 201. I'll risk another 100 bucks. And my stop will be at 191, so I bought 10 more here, 2,000. If it doesn't break this time, then I'm probably done fighting this level, but I really do think that this is going to that 395. So mitigated my risk a little bit of 70 bucks or 80 bucks last time, I can't remember. But now I'm looking for that. There we go, 394. We got the push. Let's see if the buyers can keep a hold of it here, push it up a little higher. Got it through, thank God. 394.06, 394.07. Looking for like that 394.70. So now we're back up to what I lost. I'm going to see if we can push a little bit more here. We're up. Let's go. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. All right, I'm pushing this up. Keeping a stop loss, following it up. There we go, 215. So just made 150 bucks. So I just wanted to make that money back. Now we're up 176 on the day. I'm trying to go up a couple thousand, but I don't see big enough moves to buy 30 contracts, so that was quick, obviously, but I just followed it up, made my money back, and now I'm up 176 on the day. So I'm looking for more. Obviously, I'm looking for like at least my goal is always like 500 to 1,000 a day. I'm really happy with that. Those are always my target goals, but I got to be in and out on days like this where it's super low volume and it's really, really slow. Not the best day. Not the best week, but as long as you're green every week, then you're golden. Like I said, treat it like a job. You don't want to go to your job to lose 100, 200 bucks, and don't think that that's okay. It is okay to lose on trades, but don't just go on and be like, oh yeah, I'm going to lose. I'm down 100. I'll be willing to go down 200 today, though. That's my max loss. It's like you can be willing to do that, but the best idea is to be green. So even if you're green $10, $20, you made money today. I still think that this is going to head higher, but I am going to look for puts at this zone. I think it took us forever to get up to that level. I think we're going to get there. I just wanted to secure some gains at 214. It's a little higher now, but I think that we'll probably end up scooting up to this 394.50, 394.70 very slowly. And at that point, I might start to look for some puts on the downside. So I'm going to switch these calls to puts. They're now 192. They were 240. Could be a really good opportunity to buy some on the downside. It looks like the Bollinger Bands are expanding a little bit, so we are entering into an uptrend. Don't buy puts at these levels, especially after a big candle, a nice break, and now a little reversal. Could just be consolidation. It's using this resistance as support now, so it's bouncing at that level, as you can see. Probably going to see another little move up here. Time and sales data looking like there's some spike ups, a lot of buyers coming in at these certain levels. So a lot of people had resting orders here. And until we see some real sellers come through, we're going to see some higher spikes. So look, 394.25. All right, so now we're going to wait for this level. I'm going to set an alert right at this 392.50. Once it gets to that level, we're going to create it. Once it hits that, it'll ding for us. And then I'll end up looking for some puts once it gets to that red zone. So I have that red zone at 394.70. That's where I'm looking for puts. Do the same thing as I always do. I'll scale into 10. Maybe I'll go into 20 this time. Maybe I'll spice it up a little bit. And then keep my stop loss very small, probably about $10 below. So that would be a $200 stop loss, but I'm up 176 on the day. So if it goes up my way, it could probably be up $400, $500 on that trade. So I might spice this up too. Actually, I'll just scale into it a little bit. I'll buy 10 and then make it a little bit above that 394.70. Yeah, that's probably my where I'll look to do that around this level. I'll probably look for the alert. See how this action at 394.50 is. Probably scale into 10-ish, and then at this 394.75, maybe do 10 more. And then if it spikes up, I'll probably stop myself out down $10 a contract. So, which would be $200. So I'd put 4,000 at risk, but $200 is the max loss. That's really great in my opinion, especially if it starts to reverse. Looks like this might be starting a little early here. Let's take a look. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, she's starting early. Might have missed the put trade. Just ran. Not too much. 187 to 206, but I could play the SPX, which is a lot more exciting to watch, but it's also a lot more nerve-wracking for me to play, especially while there's people watching me do it. And then it's also very, very quick, so it's hard to signal for people because you got to be in and out right away. Your executions have to be super fast, or else you're going to be screwed. So if you use Robinhood or Webull or your mobile trading, SPX, don't do it. Literally never. Unless you have Active Trader where you can get in and out very quickly, SPX will crush you. My favorite stock, Goldman Sachs. This thing is a monster. I might start to look. Oh, I can't. I don't have enough money in this account. I uploaded $20,000 or 19,000, or was it 18,000? I uploaded 18 or 19,000 into this account, and it's supposed to be only for live streaming and selling options. But for some reason, I've been buying options. I think that's just because I see the quick scalp opportunities. But I really love to sell covered calls at Goldman Sachs. This is in my long-term account at a much lower basis, but it's at 346 right now, so I'm thinking about I'll probably sell some sell some cash secured puts here in my long-term account just because this thing, when it catches legs, it squeezes. I mean, look at this 340 jump to 376. Same thing from 336 to 376, so could make some good premium on this while I collect some gains on my long-term shares.